joining me for Take It to the Next Level Tuesday. Today, I want to talk about the importance of facing your class. So I tend to go to classes, of course, very often, and what I tend to see in especially our more choreographed classes, people facing the mirror, and then all I see is this when I take those classes. And I notice that the instructor is looking at themselves a lot of the time, which isn't necessarily their own fault. I know I would do it too if I were staring at a mirror the entire time. So I have heard from people that they actually physically cannot teach to face the class because they've been teaching this way for so long. And I don't believe that for 1 second. And here is what I'm going to explain and why the importance of teaching to face the class, or facing the class while you teach, is so important and adds so much value to your class. So the first reason is just the experience, and that's the most important thing that we can give to our participants in the class. The exercises are great, they're important, they need to be safe, they need to be productive, but the experience is the most important thing. So if I'm showing someone a row here, I'm smiling, I'm making eye contact with people, and making eye contact with people can be a great way of showing them that you're talking to them. If I turn sideways, I'm like, keep your back flat, I'm looking at that person, but I'm not saying their name, and then they know I'm kind of acknowledging them, and I'm making their form important to me in class. Leaving the stage, as I've mentioned before, is going to be the best thing to do if you can reach those people. But another thing is, how does this look? If I'm teaching, it's not necessary for me in any reason, shape, or form to be facing away from the class in that regard. When it comes to a really complicated step move or a really complicated Zumba move, I can see where making sure they're using this leg and demonstrating what I want them to do could be important, or if there's a big cross in there, and sometimes when people cross their legs, they get confused. But it's actually more difficult to teach facing the class for a reason. You're basically using your left, your right becomes your left, and it can be really confusing for you as the instructor, but it's kind of lazy to not teach to face the class in a way. So I know I've subbed classes before where the participants are so used to having the instructor face the mirror in like a Zumba or step class that I'll do it because I don't want to throw off their entire experience. Because they've accumulated that practice over time, but I'm so happy and fortunate that in Bellevue at the Pro Sports Club, our instructors teach facing our students. In Zumba, in step they may face the mirror and then turn around and face the students. There's always a moment in time where the instructor is acknowledging the students by facing them. Because if you think about it, in a cycling studio or a cycling class, the bike is never, I've never seen this before, and I hope I never do, is never facing away from the participants. It's always facing the participants. There's a reason for that. It's a much more engaging experience. Also, if you think about a presenter, a great presenter is not going to look at their slides or at their notes a whole lot during the class. And if someone's constantly looking at themselves in the mirror, I take that as an attention stealer from me because they're just noticing themselves all the time. So I have a mat out here because I want to demonstrate yoga too. I've seen it in yoga where someone is, demonstrating a warrior, or an even Pilates mat laying on my side. I just want to give you guys a visual of just how it doesn't add value to the class. The facing, whenever you watch an exercise video or any kind of an exercise demonstration, the person's always facing the students, and that's so important. And the 3 reasons I just want to run through again are: number 1, experience, 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 and then community is huge. The second reason is community, because you're able to actually see their faces and make eye contact with people in ways that you can't do when you're facing the mirror. And then the third reason is the value of the class. So there's added value to me as a participant if the instructor is taking the training and the time to practice and challenge themselves in teaching to face the students. So, and as a manager, it adds huge value for me as well. And even if someone may have taught facing the mirror for a lot of their career and is willing to go through the training and the practice to teach the class, it's not going to be perfect initially. It's not going to be very fun initially, but as they get used to it and get better at it, it just changes the entire environment of their class. So I can't encourage you enough to consider working on facing your students when you teach your group fitness classes.